Take a deep breath in and exhale. Close your eyes, keep breathing deeply. See yourself going into a place that goes beyond the place that you are physically at. Call this place special, magical, sacred, blessed place. Use the word that resonates with you the most because it is your space, this is your meditation, and it is about your life. The most important thing about this place is that our souls are able to acknowledge each other, to meet each other, to nourish, celebrate, and remember each other. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, see yourself in the present, surrounded by the entity that you value the most. God, the higher power, the Holy Spirit, the source, the universe, whatever it is perfect. Even in the perceived imperfections others have about your belief, and even in your own perceived imperfections about your beliefs. If that is the belief that you have today, it is perfect for today. Let's just use that one. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, declare that it was a wise decision to step up into this place, get out of the trap of doing more stuff, and that by having done that, you gave yourself the opportunity for your mind to become stronger, sharper, more precise. Your spirit to become stronger as well, and your heart to become more loving. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Declare that you are willing and able to make the most of this time in this space and from your life. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, declare that you are totally receptive toward your message for today. Aware that whatever it is that shows up is coming all the way from the subconscious to the conscious, and for that you are willing to express gratitude. Why? Because you are aware that whatever it is that shows up, even if you dislike it, it is giving you the precious gift of an opportunity to heal something that was on the unconscious. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, declare that you are totally committed to interview that message for today with curiosity and as you're alive. Declare that you are willing to let go your attachment to a specific way or form. You are aware. You are aware that the message could show up as a thought, memory, body sensation, specific emotion during your time here or after your time here. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let go any attachment on a specific message, on a specific option. Is that still an option? Of course it is. Could you be perceiving a denial what is only a delay? Could be. However, is it possible that for today, that your message for today is something different? Are you keeping in mind that the universe is infinite? Infinity rules. infinity rules. Therefore, in a universe that is infinite, what if you let go what is? You let go the attachment to the specific. And you embrace the universal culture of infinite possibilities. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, declare that you honor your inner fire and you look to understand the culture that you are in. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, observe which came first. A thought, a memory, a particular emotion, a body sensation, any of that inspire you. You are, yes, that's what I am trying to do. That's what I am doing. Or are you saying, why should I say, look to understand? I actually understand the culture that I am in. Really? Could it be that you are only looking at one aspect of that culture? Could it be that you are thinking the culture of a country, of a place? Do you realize that even if you live in a place for a long, long time, and then you return, the ideas, traditions could have changed, could have shifted, even if it's a little bit? Take a deep breath in. And exhale. I honor my inner fire. And I look to understand the culture that I am in. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. What if right now you choose to ask yourself, how do I react when facing cultural contrast? How do you react when you suddenly realize this is way different than what I was used to? Do you ask to understand? Or do you judge them as they are wrong and stay in silence? Or do you criticize them? Take a deep breath in. And exhale anything that could show up that is overwhelming. Look into the past. If anything is showing up, an event, and a particular memory about culture and the way you approach it. Take a deep breath in and exhale. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. Look into your self-image today. Could it be possible that you have some labels on yourself that are there as a result of a moment that you perceive you didn't understand the culture, or from a moment that you perceive that you make your maximum effort to understand the culture and you still never found the way to fill the blank, that you have may perceive that you were rejected, not understand it, whatever it is perfect. Place everything in front of you. Take a deep breath in and exhale. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. Are you thinking, but I haven't changed countries? I only changed from one department to the other. Could it be that the culture between the people that work at that place, even if from the same company, have some particular traditions, have some particular ways to manage their ideas, to express their ideas, to receive their ideas? Do you realize that in order for you to step up into new levels of service, profit, health, freedom, and greatness, in whichever way you value the most, when you give yourself permission to put an effort to understand the culture that you are in, you expand the way that you could influence the people around you? Would that be valuable for you? Take a deep breath in and exhale. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. Look into the future. In which ways are you looking into that future? In detail or just an overall? If you think about a sensation in every area of your life, vocational, physical, financial, mental, social, spiritual, could it be that you belong to different groups in every of those areas? Do you believe that you have to stay there? Or are you giving yourself permission to move to something else? Are you looking at the future limited by your past or by your present circumstances, by what you perceive that you didn't understand at all a culture, or that the others didn't understand your culture? Take a deep breath in and exhale. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am. In which way your future self would listen and would speak to understand the culture that your future self it is. Relax. Whatever shows up is perfect. Look into your self-image and consider if when you perceive your future self, you are doing a copy-paste of your actual self. Which upgrade would you love to do in yourself? to be able to understand the culture that you are in. Which culture? Whatever it is. The country, from the family, from the workplace, whatever it is. Which ideas, which traditions would you love to understand? Or at least to try to do your best to understand. What are you willing to put your energy to understand? Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, ask yourself, do I love that people understand my culture? The culture that I come from? Or am I trying to hide it because of fill the blank? Is there anything that you perceive is unworthy for others to find out? Maybe you perceive your culture is too weird because they believe in, or we believe in. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, realize that you are a masterpiece. As you are, with the culture that you come from, with the cultures that you embrace, with the culture that you, in the future, come up and adapt. Do you believe you are a masterpiece? Or do you come from a culture that sounds too... Fill the blank. Take a deep breath in and exhale. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. Whatever it is that could be showing up. Shame, guilt, remorse, anything that causes you anxiety, whatever it is, just put it outside of you. Take everything that could be overwhelming outside of you. See your self-image and declare that you are able to adjust your perspective about who you are. And to understand the culture that you are in from a place of love. I adjust my perspective about who I am. And I align from a place of love to understand the culture that I am in. From a place of love. How does that look like for you? What will you ask? What will you say? What will you try? What will you respect? Even if you won't try. Take a deep breath in and exhale. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. How are you reacting when you perceive others don't understand the culture that you come from? How are you reacting when people come from a different culture and do what you label as weird or fill the blank? Is it it possible that you are closing yourself to their ideas, to their projects, just because they come from another culture? Is it possible that you are judging the level of their intelligence because the culture that they come from? Because the way they speak, for example. Is it possible that you have embraced a different culture than the one that was originally yours, and now you are rejecting the people that look like the you in the past? Take a deep breath in and exhale. Grateful, 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 because transformation started at the moment that you gave yourself permission to step up into this meditation. Your future has transformed. Your sphere of consciousness has expanded. Your sphere of awareness has expanded. Your sphere of awareness, your level of awareness has raised. By being here, you are shifting the possibilities toward your future. And your level of comprehension to the culture. You realize that the most important thing to understand another culture is the willingness to ask. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Does that mean that you have to accept everything, every other culture? Remember, this is your meditation. It is about your life. The question is, when you review the labels that you have placed on yourself or that others place on yourself and you accept them, would your future benefit from reviewing and accepting the possibility to start a new way to understand, do your best to understand the culture that you are in? Take a deep breath in and exhale. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. I honor my inner fire and I look to understand the culture that I am in. Blessings.